December 31st, 2015. Three broke Nigerian graduates are about to shut down their failing startup. They can't even afford to pay their employees. Then, at 11:47 p.m., a single tweet changes everything. Fast forward to April 2026. Their company has just paid out over 3 trillion naira to Nigerian users. But here's what they don't tell you at those glossy tech conferences. They almost lost it all, multiple times. My name is Philip Hassel, and today I'm revealing the real story of how Piggyvest was built, including the parts that nearly destroyed them, the referral program that cost them millions, the security breach forced them to shut down after just 2 months, and the regulatory nightmare that almost killed their brand forever. If you've ever wondered how a fintech actually survives in Nigeria's brutal startup ecosystem, this is that story. Let me paint you the scene. December 2015, Nigeria's tech ecosystem is barely breathing. Most people still think online businesses are elaborate scams, and honestly, they had good reason to think that. The Ponzi scheme had just collapsed, taking billions of naira with it. Trust in digital financial services, zero. Into this environment, a random Twitter user posts about saving 365,000 naira in a year by putting away 1,000 naira daily. The tweet goes viral. Not because it's revolutionary, but because it's simple. Too simple. Somto Ifezue, Odunayo Eweniye, and Joshua Chibueze see this tweet in their WhatsApp group. They're running Push CV, a recruitment platform that's hemorrhaging money. They're literally discussing layoffs. But something about that tweet triggers them. What if we could build this? Within hours, Somto is designing logos in a village with no electricity and barely any network coverage. No market research, no business plan. Just 3 desperate entrepreneurs who saw an opportunity in the chaos. This is how billion-dollar companies actually start. Not in Silicon Valley boardrooms, but in WhatsApp groups at midnight. The money-losing referral disaster. Here's where I come into this story. And here's the part Piggyvest executives probably wish I wouldn't tell you. In 2016, I was a broke university student. Like most Nigerian students, I had maybe 500 naira in my account on a good day. But Piggyvest, then called Piggy Bank, had this referral program that was absolutely insane. For every person you referred, you got paid 1,000 rupees, and the person you referred got paid 1,000 rupees. Let's be honest, I still wonder how Pig Bank was able to get this huge budget for promotion. Can you imagine making over £2,000 with self-referral and still getting paid instantly with no minimum withdrawal? A completed KYC qualifies for an instant payout directly to your bank account. I made over 1 million naira from the referral program alone. 1 million naira. As a student who couldn't afford lunch most days. And I wasn't unique. Students across Nigeria were gaming this system, making 3 to 4 million naira each through referrals. The cruel irony? Most of us had zero money to actually save. We were getting rich off a savings app while having nothing to save. Piggyvest was hemorrhaging money, paying referral bonuses to users who would never become profitable customers. This is the dirty secret of Nigerian fintech growth. Sometimes you have to lose millions to buy trust. But here's what's fascinating. It worked. The security crisis that almost destroyed them. March 2016. Just 2 months after launch, Piggyvest discovered something terrifying. Users were attaching other people's bank cards to their accounts. A son had linked his mother's card without her knowledge. This wasn't a one-off incident, it was systemic. The security architecture was fundamentally broken. Imagine being a 2-month-old startup and discovering that your core product is facilitating potential fraud. The founders faced an impossible choice: keep growing with a broken product or shut down and lose all momentum. They chose to shut down. In March 2016, at the height of Nigeria's Ponzi scheme paranoia, Piggyvest voluntarily stopped all transactions. They sent emails to users saying, "We're rebuilding. Trust us." In a country where trust us usually means we're running away with your money, this was financial suicide. But they spent 6 weeks rebuilding everything: security, compliance, and treasury management. When they relaunched in April, something remarkable happened. Their users came back. This is when I realized Piggyvest was different. In 2017, Piggyvest gets a call that changes everything. The Central Bank of Nigeria has a problem with their name. Piggy Bank implies they're a bank, but they don't have a banking license. The CBN gives them an ultimatum: change your name or face regulatory action. For a fintech, your brand is everything. Piggy Bank was perfect, simple, memorable, trustworthy. Changing it could kill user recognition overnight. But here's the brilliant part. They had already registered Piggyvest.com months earlier. They saw this coming. The rebrand wasn't a panic. It was strategic foresight. They turned Piggy Bank into a product within Piggyvest, making the company seem bigger and more diversified. This regulatory pressure that could have destroyed them actually forced them to evolve into something stronger. By 2018, they acquired Gold Microfinance Bank and got their CBN license. The company that started as 3 broke graduates now owns an actual bank. The 3 trillion Naira question, April 2026. Piggyvest announces they've paid out 3 trillion Naira to users since 2016. 3 trillion Naira. To put that in perspective, that's roughly equivalent to Nigeria's entire federal budget for 2023. But here's the question that keeps me up at night. Where exactly is this money? Piggyvest isn't a commercial bank. They're a cooperative society, registration number 16555. Your money isn't protected by NDIC insurance as it would be in a traditional bank. Instead, it's held by AIICO Capital, a fund management company. This isn't necessarily bad, but it's different. And different means risk. In 2023 to 2024, during Nigeria's Naira crisis, Nairaland exploded with complaints about Piggyvest withdrawal delays. Users couldn't access their money for weeks. The company's response? Technical difficulties. But when you're holding billions of Naira in user funds, technical difficulties become existential crises. This is the reality of Nigerian fintech. You're always one technical glitch away from a trust collapse. The lessons for founders. So what can we learn from Piggyvest's journey? First, sometimes you have to lose money to buy trust. Those millions they spent on referral programs weren't wasted. They were customer acquisition costs in a market where trust is the most expensive commodity. Second, regulatory compliance isn't optional, it's survival. Piggyvest's willingness to shut down and rebuild when they discovered security flaws saved them from becoming another cautionary tale. Third, in Nigerian fintech, you're not just building a product, you're fighting decades of financial trauma. Every user who trusts you with their money is making a leap of faith in a country where that faith has been broken repeatedly. Piggyvest succeeded because they understood this psychological battle. They didn't just build an app, they built a trust infrastructure. But here's my warning to aspiring fintech founders. Piggyvest's success makes it look easy. It's not. For every Piggyvest, there are hundreds of failed fintechs you've never heard of. The graveyard of Nigerian startups is littered with founders who thought they could replicate this success without understanding the fundamentals. Now I have a question for you. If you benefited from Piggyvest's referral program back in the day, as I did, drop your experience in the comments below. How much did you make? And more importantly, did you actually save any money with them afterwards? For more deep dives into how Nigerian tech companies really work behind the scenes, hit that subscribe button. Next week, I'm investigating how Flutterwave built its payment empire and the regulatory battles they're fighting across Africa that could change everything.